What's snapping, fallen twigs? Welcome back to Monkey Boys Toys. Welcome back to the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again. Here's a hippo to look at. Now, full disclosure, I've tried to make this video about 11 times now, and I don't seem to be able to do it. I can't get my words out properly, I keep making mistakes, and quite frankly, I'm getting fucking sick of it. So this will be the last take that I do. And if it goes wrong again, then so be it. We'll just have to make the best of it. I'm not going to do a blooper reel of all the previous takes that have failed, because quite frankly, my language was disgusting. I'm also not going to mess about trying to tell you all sorts of facts about the figures that I'm showing you today, because I can't seem to remember anything. And quite honestly, it's doing my head in. So I'm just going to show you some stuff, and then I'm going to bugger off if that's all right, because I think it's just going to be one of those days. Now, I've been on a bit of a DC kick recently, so I've picked up a couple more DC figures for the collection, which I'd like to show you. And I've also picked up some figures from a vintage line that I've only just started collecting again. But we'll get to those in a second. First of all, let's have a look at the DC items I've got. Before I do show you the two new figures, let's remove the hippo, and I'll just show you this figure. Now, you've seen Supergirl on the channel before. This is the DC Icons Supergirl Rebirth figure. Now, I picked this up quite some time ago, but I really like the packaging and I like the line. This is a fantastic figure. It's one of the favourite figures in my collection. She wasn't in this pose originally. I actually took her out and displayed her loose for a while, and then I decided to put her back in the box, and I changed her position somewhat, so she's looking a bit sort of, I don't know what, sort of a bit martial arty. But yeah, so this is a figure you may have seen before on the channel. I decided to pick up a couple of others from the line. Now, I can't tell you what line what year they're from, because I don't remember. They're certainly from a few years ago, but the first one I picked up was the Joker. He's quite a nice figure. I like this old school look of the Joker, when he had the sort of very large mouth, the sort of oversized, stylized mouth. I think he looks pretty cool. My main focus with DC is Superman, Supergirl, Batman and the Joker. And I wanted another one for the collection, so I decided that the DC Icons line was the way to go. So here he is. He's got a few spare hands, a Tommy gun and a crowbar for bashing people's heads in. But yeah, there's the first figure. Let's get rid of him before something goes wrong. And I'll bring in the next one I got, which, having told you my focus was those other four figures, this is not part of my focus. This is the only Swamp Thing figure that I've got, but I wanted to add him to the collection because he's nice and colourful. He looks pretty cool. He's got nice red and yellow eyes, and he looks quite grumpy. I thought this was a nice figure. Now, I don't know who or what this sort of pink head on a hand is. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments what that is. I'm not that familiar with Swamp Thing, I'm afraid. But yeah, I do like the packaging that was with the Icons line. So I thought I'd pick him up as well, just to add a bit of colour to the collection. Anyway, before it goes wrong, let's remove him, and let's bring in the next item, which is, it's the Quasimodo figure from the Kenner Ghostbusters Monsters line. Now, you may have seen on the channel before, I had two others. Three others in fact. I had Dracula, the Wolfman and the Mummy. I've showed those all on the channel before, and I thought I'd pick up the other three from the wave. Now, these were released, I think it was the fifth wave of toys, and it was in 1989 that these were released. And this is the Quasimodo figure. Now, he's pretty cool. He's got a bit of a hairy chest, as you can see. He's got some warts on his back. Obviously, he's got his humpback. No, humpbacks are whales, aren't they? So he's a hunchback. You see, I don't know what I'm talking about today. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, here's Quasimodo. Now, like all of the other figures in the Monsters wave, he does have an action feature that's activated by pushing his legs together. As you can see at the moment, he's chained up. He's got this rather unrealistic looking sort of plastic chain that's holding his wrists together. You've got to wonder why such a long chain was put around his wrists, really, because quite honestly that chain is long enough that he could move his arms anywhere he wanted to. So I'm not sure what the purpose of that chain actually is. But anyway, when you squeeze his legs together, oh, he breaks the chain and goes rah with his mouth. I don't know if you can see the inside of his mouth, probably not. He does have some moulding on the inside of his mouth, so he's got like the roof of his mouth you can see and stuff, which does look pretty cool. But yeah, so he basically breaks his chain, opens his arms a bit and goes rah. So that's Quasimodo. Let's pop him to the back of the sofa for now, and I'll bring in the next figure that I've got, which is the zombie figure. A nice colourful figure, looks pretty cool. This, I suppose, out of all the 6 figures in the wave, is the one least like any of the Universal monsters. I don't remember a Universal zombie monster that looked anything like this. But yeah, here's the zombie. He's got big bushy eyebrows, some leaves and bones around his neck, some rips and tears in his top there. You can see his ribs poking through at the back here. But yeah, quite a nice figure. They made the unusual decision of having 1 foot forward and 1 foot to the side. Now these feet aren't articulated, so that's how they stay. But I thought that was an interesting choice to have him sort of standing like that. It's quite an unusual pose for an action figure. Again, he's got an action feature where you push his legs together and he does this. Rah! His hair pops up, his eyes go a bit googly, and he raises his arms. So that's pretty cool. And now he's stuck. Of course he is. There we go. There we are. So yeah, there's the zombie figure. We'll pop him to the back, and that brings us on to the final figure of the wave that I picked up, and that is Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, should I say, not Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein's monster. So here he is. Now, when you pick Frankenstein up these days, often his head is a different colour to his lower jaw. His head tends to discolour, and quite often the 2 colours don't match up very well. Mine isn't too bad. They're not quite the same colour, but they're close. So that's something to have a look out for if you are going to buy one of these on the secondary market. Just double check to see how discoloured the head is, because sometimes it can look a bit odd if his head's a significantly different shade of green to his chin and lower jaw there. He's the tallest figure in the line, and again he's got an action feature that's activated by pushing his legs together, and no surprises for guessing what's going to happen. Rah! He raises his arms and his mouth opens. He's not doing it particularly well, but yeah, there you go. He's got a bit of a squeak. He's a bit stiff in his old age, but anyway, yeah, that's what he does. Rah! Rah! So yeah, there's the Frankenstein figure. So I shall add those 3 figures to the other 3 Ghostbusters monster figures that I've got, and they'll be going on display. And before anything else goes wrong, I'm going to sod off. So thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate you sticking with me, particularly on days like this when it all goes wrong. I really do appreciate you watching the videos and taking the time to leave comments. It really does mean a lot to me, so thanks ever so much for doing that. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with any other fallen twigs you may know. And do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you later. Bye.